Do you still need a lawyer if you want to plead guilty to your DUI charge? Getting charged with impaired driving is incredibly stressful, both in your personal and work life. And what makes this stress even worse is that the legal process that you're going to have to go through, that's going to take a long time, months, even over a year. And having to move forward with your life, knowing that you have this real serious legal charge in the waiting, it's difficult. That pressure, that stress, that often leads to people to plead guilty just because they want to get it over with. They want to move forward with their lives without a DUI charge hanging in the balance. In these situations, I always say, stop. Take a step back and consider these three factors. First, the case against you may not be as strong as you believe. In my experience, people who want to plead guilty to a DUI use this logic. You know you had alcohol in your system, you drove, and you got caught. If you know this, then for sure the Crown lawyers that are prosecuting your impaired driving case, they must know that too. So you're going to lose. So why not just get it over with so you can get on with your life? There's a problem with that logic, and that is the case against you really, in reality, may not be as strong as you believe. The way our legal system works is that the responsibility for proving the DUI charge, that lies with the Crown lawyers that are prosecuting your case. In other words, you do not need to prove you're innocent. The Crown, they need to prove you're guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And the reality is, you don't know what evidence the Crown has. To prove a DUI case, that involves a lot of moving parts. And you're just not going to be aware of what those parts are. And if there are any issues in any one of those moving parts, the reality is the evidence may not be as strong as you believe. So pleading guilty, that really may not be the best decision for you to take, given what I've just mentioned. 2, if the police made a mistake, your charge may be withdrawn, even if you're guilty. Your rights are protected by something called the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, which is part of the Canadian Constitution. The Charter lists out a whole set of rules that the police, they have to follow from the very first time they pulled you over all the way until the time that they released you from custody. And if any of those rules are not followed, then that would weaken the case against you. The reality is these rules are often complex, and the police are human, and they make mistakes, as we all do. If the police made a mistake, that would open an opportunity to either get your charge withdrawn or potentially reduce the severity of the penalties that you're facing. 3, a DUI lawyer may be able to get your penalties reduced. When a DUI lawyer gets involved in your case, they will be able to get your penalties reduced in many situations. An experienced DUI lawyer, they're going to have relationships. They're going to know who the Crown lawyers are. They're going to know the judges involved in your case. They're going to know how these Crown lawyers think. They're going to know how these judges think. And what they know, they're going to know about the priorities and what's possible in regards to penalties in different fact situations. That knowledge, it's critical in getting penalties reduced and ultimately getting a much better outcome than if you had dealt with your case without a DUI lawyer's help. Bottom line, speak to an experienced DUI lawyer to put in place a strategy to get you the very best outcome. Reach out to me. Let's have a confidential and free call and strategize about how we can get the best outcome for you.